I wouldn't be a podcaster if I wasn't stuffing my face in the last minute.
God damn it.
And boy, do I have a podcast for us.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Should we just start rolling? Should I do like a good intro for once? And
not while I'm eating.
Not professionally? Yeah, no. Professionally while you're eating. Say, hey, I'm Lilith. That's Amanda. She's eating.
Don't you dare!
I come every week ready to go.
My hair. Oh my god! Oh my god! I feel like I Love Lucy. Like, let me be in the show, Ricky. Well, and there I am. And I'm in the show, and then my hair's wrong. I'm eating a salad.
You're doing it all. No one's into trivia anymore. People want to do axe tossing in bars now. They don't want to do trivia. They want to join skee ball leagues and Krav Maga demonstrations. They don't want to do trivia.
How are you going to do a skee ball in a bar unless the bar has a skee ball and you make your own?
No, I was at a place. They had a skee ball league. They had like a little six lane skee ball, and you and your teams of 4 would go against each other, and whichever team scored the most won that week.
Do you remember duck pin bowling?
I do. That seems like a very distinctly northern Wisconsin thing.
Oh, a fucking Milwaukee thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's anywhere else.
We need more bowling. We can't just have bowling.
My dad took me when I was a kid, and it was like in some bar with some weird guy because you could take kids into bars in the 80s.
Is that the same as the one? It was like a little board where you had like the disc, and then you like slid the disc down, and the pins were up top.
Shuffleboard.
No. No, shuffleboard's different. So it was like this thing. It had like the dust all over it to keep it slidey, and then like it had like a rubber thing at the back, and it would bounce back to you when you were done with it. But I don't know what it's called.
Like whatever you hit.
Whatever, yeah. And then this is unimportant. This is so unimportant.
The whole thing we're doing is unimportant.
Everything is unimportant. Here's why I introduced the podcast. A great episode of Being Trans with Lilith and Amanda.
Thanks for introducing the podcast.
I always forget. I should really, I said.
You do always forget, and I love you, and I always forget too. And now you did it, and now what we can do is start getting in another good habit, which is now we do the like and subscribe pitch. Like and subscribe. You have to do it at the beginning, we learned. We've been doing it at the end. You're supposed to do it at the beginning.
I had no idea.
You're supposed to do it right away. You're supposed to do it like in the first minute. Like you're supposed to be like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Ring that bell. Do all the things and give us your money. I mean, you don't even have to give us money. Just do it because jobs suck and I can't do a job. Okay, there's this movie.
Jump in. Let's do it.
1998, I think it was called Bulletproof. It was starring Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans. Where Adam Sandler's a criminal and Damon Wayans is a cop, and it's like the stupidest fucking movie. It's exactly as stupid as it sounds. However, there is one line in that movie that Adam Sandler falls in love with a cop or something stupid, some female cop.
Of course.
So dumb. She's asking him, why are you a criminal? And he's like, because I tried having a real job. I couldn't do it. I tried being a busboy. I can't give people butter. And I thought that was fucking hilarious. You didn't think that was that funny. I thought that was very funny. But that's a real thing for me. I can't do it. I can't go out into the world and have a job. No. So you all need to like and subscribe so I can just do this and be this pretty person and just do cool shit and make shit like our next segment. But before we go into our next segment, we gotta go. Meme diver.
Whoa, you hit me with a meme diver. I wasn't ready.
We're going right into Meme Diver because I found this new Facebook page. It is now my new favorite meme supply page.
Yeah.
And it's called Boys That Can Cook. This first meme is I'm going to try and describe the photo here because this is probably the worst thing I've ever seen.
So unsettling.
It kind of looks like fish eggs, but not caviar. Like fish spawn wrapped in a wilted lettuce leaf. And like, it's just like the worst thing ever. But here, I'll explain it. So here it says, the caption is, if I can use kale for plant-based Philly cheesesteak wraps, why not a sandwich, quote, bread? Peanut butter and mint jam. I use soaked chia seed and monk fruit sweetener for the jam. So basically, this is a peanut butter and homemade monk fruit and chia seed jam sandwich with kale for bread. And it's just spread around the plate.
Here's what it looks like.
Terrible.
For those of you listening, it looks like there's a plant that had 2 leaves, and in between the leaves, some sort of bug laid 1 million eggs, and then someone came and squished the leaves together, and everything kind of squirted out of the eggs and is all over the place. This feels like, to me, it's like some sort of right-wing troll doing something stupid. I mean, if someone wants to eat a kale-based Philly cheese wrap, I don't understand why that bothers people, and they feel the need to like be snarky about it. Like, let people do what they want.
Maybe they're being snarky. Like, I don't like to think that way. I like to think that someone actually did this.
Oh no, that makes me sad. That makes me sad.
This is a boy that can cook.
No, if this is real, this is someone who's they're serving this to their child instead of peanut butter and jelly.
So while we're on the subject,
sad.
I have to justify this by telling you that now I did inject humor into it. I knew what I was doing, but pre-transition, like years ago, I came up with a thing called the Bachelor sandwich.
Let me get ready for this. Let me get ready for this.
It was like a heel of white bread.
Yeah.
With a whole dill pickle.
Yeah.
And this just French's yellow mustard.
This is pre-transition?
So what's around the house? So like that's it. A heel of white bread, a dill pickle, and French's yellow mustard.
I mean, I've always been experimental when it comes to cooking. I mean, I shared with you my picture of my pizza roll ramen, right?
Yeah.
Make a pack of ramen and then put 6 pizza rolls in the air fryer and just drop them in when you're eating your noodles. It's perfect stuff.
So good.
But no,
perfect.
Like the heel of bread wrapped around a dill pickle is definitely like a post-transition sandwich.
It's a pre-transition sandwich. But I guess you're right. But like, I guess I knew. We knew.
We just knew. You knew.
Didn't we all know? Oh, this is the one. Yeah. Okay. Here you go.
What?
I found this one especially for you. The caption on this one is, "You ain't from Virginia if you've never had eggs in a bag." And here's a Glad Ziploc bag with like a goofy dude, bucktooth dude from the Cars movie on it.
Yeah, it's the Larry the Cable Guy voiced character, the tow truck.
I've never seen the Cars movie.
I've never eaten it, but I know that's Larry the Cable Guy.
But yeah, there it is, and then it's just a Ziploc bag full of overcooked scrambled eggs. These are very bad scrambled eggs.
What does Virginia have to do? My sad ass has lived here for like 24 years now, and I have no idea what this is.
You never had eggs in a bag?
No. This does remind me.
You ain't from Virginia, obviously.
I'm not from Virginia, but I've lived here for 24 years.
Problem. You didn't grow up in Virginia, and you ain't never had eggs in a bag.
This is more thing you'd eat when you're 5. You know, this isn't for adults.
It's not for adults. Well, I mean, I guess some adults.
The other thing this reminds me of is when we were out.
It'd be weird if this was for adults.
You just cut a hole in the corner. You suck it out like frosting.
A bag full of scrambled eggs.
When we were flying back from California, we're in the San Jose airport. And you know, since 9/11, it's hell getting through security. And, there's no bringing food. There's no bringing drinks. And we're waiting for our flight. And this old lady next to us pulls out of her suitcase a Ziploc bag full of like yellow rice and just starts eating it. And I'm like, how the fuck did you get that through security? You just had a bag of rice in your carry-on, and they were just like, "Man, looks good to us." Like if you have 3.1 ounces of shampoo, they're giving you a pat down, and this lady is just like, Ziploc bag full of rice, whatever. Have
Well,
it.
Hannibal Buress did a whole bit on that about like how fucking the primary principle of airport security is the primary function is to not allow you to have water.
Yeah. Make sure you got to buy that water on the other side of this checkpoint.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous world. But that's Meme Diver. Those are our memes.
Let's dip our hands into the old question bin.
Let's answer a community question.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Hey, I like this one because this question is focused on trans people, could be focused on anything. It's like, hey, after being trans for 2 weeks now, I don't know what I should do. I posted here earlier, but I'm thinking, what do I do now? I made social media accounts with my true name and like it. What's next? I was thinking I could do HRT, but maybe it's too fast. I like this because you could also be like, hey, I got my history degree 2 weeks ago. What now?
No, I know there's something really fucking funny about that question.
Yeah, well, okay.
I know. Everything you've ever wanted.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think people are like, when are you done with your transitions? Like, you're not. This is your life now. Just enjoy everything. I would say it's not too fast to start HRT, but that's your.
You don't think it is?
I can't tell you to.
Really fast.
I can't tell you to or not to. You have to figure out what your comfortability and what your pace is, and if you feel like you want to talk to a therapist and things like that. But yeah, whatever you want to do next is what you do next.
Let's just kind of break down this question a little bit.
Yeah.
So, like, I've been trans for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What I can assume that means, and they're not on HRT. So what that means is they came out 2 weeks ago. Okay, that's what it means. Like,
that's what it seems like.
You've been trans a lot longer.
You've been trans your whole life.
You know? It's like, probably your whole life.
Maybe they're 2 weeks old.
Yeah, that's probably it. What do? I don't know. Learn to use the toilet.
Yeah. Get to the train. No.
I mean, you're not quite ready for solid food yet, but you know. Infant jokes. So good. It's adorable, and I don't want to be mean or condescending and make
I don't think you're being mean. I think it's just adorable.
No, because it's like that's a cute thing. It's like, oh, what do I do now? It's like, well, maybe start HRT. Well, yeah, clearly. I mean, that's very definitely a thing. I don't even really fully understand the question because it's like, well, yeah, you're right. Whatever you want.
Well, I think part of it, and we touch on this a lot, is that think about, who you are and who you want to be and what direction you're heading. And there's no one size fits all for being a trans person, just like there's no one size fits all for being any person. You have to figure out who you want to be and where you want to go and what you want to do. And, give yourself credit, for coming out. Being trans isn't always easy. And just the fact that, coming out is a milestone, coming out is an accomplishment, and having the courage in yourself to do that, that's great. And even if you haven't come out and you've just accepted to yourself, sometimes coming out to ourselves is the hardest thing to do, because we know how tough it's going to be.
I think most people kind of struggle with that to some capacity. I think that whole denial is a powerful thing. It is extremely powerful. For some people, something's up, but you can't pinpoint it, or deep down, but you don't want to have to deal with all the shit so bad that you're like, well, certainly that's not me. And I mean, in a lot of ways, I was like that. I knew, but I didn't want to have to deal with it so much. I was convinced myself, well, I don't technically qualify. It's like I'm close, I'm adjacent. Some of those things hit home, but not all of them. So I guess since I'm not all of them, so I guess not. But I knew. It's like, and I was fooling myself, and it was what I had to do to survive. It was what I had to do to get through the endless compounding drudgery of every day you don't transition.
Yeah.
And eventually it just got too much and I came out and I was like, okay, fine. I can't put this off any longer. Yeah, I cannot not do this. And so just the way that is phrased sounds like they're struggling with it a lot less than maybe you or I did.
Well, you're talking about this. It reminds me, I always talk about I came out in 2015 because that's when I came out to the world, but I actually did come out to my ex in 2011. And it went so bad, that it pushed me back. I didn't start HRT till 2018.
Well, I mean, if you want to go that far, I came out to my parents at age 5 in 1982.
Well,
And like,
I had a crying fit about my
so
name
badly that like I went into the closet
Fair
for
enough.
35 years.
Fair
Like,
enough.
yeah.
But I just feel like that went so bad. It's like, oh man, if I'd had an 11-year jump start or a 7-year jump start on starting, that's fine. It's not, like I often talk about like not having that regret and just realizing you are where you are. And from here on out, you're going to make those decisions that are what's best for you. And you can't cry about or worry about what the past was. Cause yeah, that was awful. And then, when I finally got divorced, I came out like less than a month after I moved out. I told everyone. And so that was like fall of 2015. And, talk about, I started seeing a therapist 2016. I just thought I was too old. And so I didn't even consider HRT. I didn't start till 2018. So, everyone's in a different place. Is HRT for you? It was great for me. You just have to figure out if it's right for you.
I love it.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I just took a big old shot of estrogen today. It feels great.
Oh God, it feels so good. But I'm going to say that it is for this question asker because of the way they phrase it. It's like, what do I do now? Start HRT? Like,
right. The concern is it's too fast.
Attitude,
it's not too fast.
Can I start HRT? Yes, you can. The answer is yes, you can.
If you feel it's right for you, then yes, it's not too fast.
Do it. Pull that trigger. If you're ready, pull the trigger.
If you had a medical condition that required something from the doctor, you'd be like, is it too quick to be getting my heart surgery today? It's like, I don't know, you need it. And that's all just for it's a condition. If you want to start getting treatment for your condition, it's never too late.
It's true. Yeah. It's never too late. And I
broke my bone. I broke my bone 2 weeks ago. Is it too late to get? Is it too soon to get put in a cast?
Like, no, you should different. Do that. It
is a little different.
I understand what you're doing here, but like, let's not get too ridiculous. Sarcasm. Let's like give, where you're. It's like I don't want to give them the haters any fucking ammunition more than they already have. If you're ready to start HRT, then by all means, because the reality of it is the sooner you do, the sooner you're going to get through the hardest part, and the sooner you're going to be happier. Like Lila said, it's different for everybody, and everyone approaches it differently, and there's no one way to be trans. There's no rules. However, the one thing that I can say that is almost universal is I have never met a transgender person that wished they started HRT later than they did.
Oh man, I wish I would have waited a decade.
But I met plenty that maybe 100% of everyone's like wishes they'd started sooner. We see it all the time in the questions that we've asked on this show, which is like, I wish I'd started sooner, and they're like 19. Well, that's legitimate because you know what? Yeah. Guess what? It would have been better probably if you'd started at 16, or 14 even, if you're that lucky. If you're ready for HRT, yes, absolutely, and get that ball rolling.
Also, you can also just stop if it's not for you. If you feel like
the other part,
you take it for a while and you're just like, oh man, I don't know, just stop.
All the right wingers and all the fear mongers try to be like, oh, it's a permanent decision, but it's not. It's not at all. It's not a permanent decision. In fact, it's so not permanent. In order to do it, you have to take it twice a day for the rest of your life.
This is
how
permanent.
Not permanent it is.
If this is permanent, why am I taking shots forever?
Yeah, exactly. The other thing I'll say is I'd love to take a moment to give the secret word that I got when I wanted to get on HRT and I didn't know where to go. And I asked my therapist, I was like, I don't know what to do. She's like, here's what you do. She gave me a list of clinics in my area that specialize in gender affirming care.
Yeah.
That's the secret phrase. So you find that. And then when you call them up, you're going to talk to the receptionist and you're going to say this key magic phrase, which is, I am looking for a gender-affirming primary care physician. I did that. I just said those exact words, and the reception was like, oh, and then just patched me right through to the best doctor I'd ever gotten.
Yeah.
And I got lucky.
Yeah.
But that is the secret phrase. That is the secret word. And use that when you do it, because if you're lucky enough to find the primary care physician that also is a transgender specialist, then that's the best way to go. So that's one thing to do. The other thing to do is, buy some shoes.
Here's some good stuff. Have you chosen a new name? Are you changing your name?
She said she did. Oh, they said they did. Yeah.
I made social media. Man,
and they like it. So they did that. They changed their name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Practice your voice.
Think about your...
Lilith didn't do that. Lilith didn't care.
Lil don't give a shit.
She's like, Lil's like, I like my voice. I'm keeping it, which you
I
may
hate
want to.
I hate my voice. It's just a generic voice. It's like,
why don't you work on it? You know, it's a thing.
So here's the thing. I don't know if I ever told you this.
I'm not going to tell you what to fucking do.
No, this is funny.
Don't listen to me.
No, listen, it's funny. When I first came out, and I would perform. You know, I'd do stand up and improv, and a couple times I did stand up, and I would try to do like a voice while I was on stage. Invariably, I'd get like 2 minutes into my set, and I would totally forget about voice. Because I'd start getting thirsty on stage. I'd start getting raspy, and I was just like, this is just dumb. Just be you, and you'll be fine. And so that's the other thing is like, what bothers you and what doesn't bother you, and take care of the things that are bothering you, and don't worry about the things that don't bother you.
Yeah, good advice.
Who are those people? Who are those femmes you look up to stylistically? You know, look at how you want to be. You know, if you want to be
goals.
Goals, that's right.
Goals. Also bear in mind that like, well, it is good to have those transition goals. Don't get too wrapped up in them because everyone's different.
I was thinking more like fashion stuff. Like who has like fashion?
Even that, you know, I think it's a good thing to have transition goals and it's stuff to work towards. And because it isn't a passive thing. Like you don't just take pills and let it happen. You have to work at it. You have to work with it. And
do you think I just showed up one day looking like an angry old lady? I work at this. You
have started down a lifelong process that is unique to 2% of the world's population. Only we get to go through this, and it is amazing.
I say play with style, play with fashion, depending on how old you are. So one thing, I had a cis friend who pointed out, like, you know, trans people tend to, like, when they first come out, they try to, you know, they kind of push the boundaries with clothing, and they maybe dress a little crazy. And it's just like, we're all going through puberty. We're all going through our we're all dressing like 13-year-olds because that's where we're at.
That's exactly what I did.
We're rebelling. Yeah, I was like, oh man.
I had all this weird goth shit that I was like, I'm so, look at me. Do I look goth?
Nah, I was just mixing and matching crazy shit all the time. Yeah. And then I just kind of settled in. I'm just kind of like I'm just like you.
That is what happens. Weirdo. Like you settle into
conservative
it.
Dressing weirdo, not conservative.
After a while, it's like it was just like it was before, which I just want to be comfortable.
Yeah. Last night I went to the wedding yesterday in my floral print dress with my black Doc Martens, and
there you go. Yeah.
There it was.
I remember when I first came out and I first started transitioning, and I was so excited for the day where I could wear a bra and actually need it. And I was so excited. And when that day finally came, where I was like, I actually had boobs and I actually could justify wearing a bra, like it was a good thing. Like it wasn't just doing it because I want to. Mm-hmm. Like it was like, this was like the right thing to do. And I did that for maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, get this fucking thing off of me.
Yeah. I have never wear bras. I've never worn them.
So I do here and there because there's certain outfits like require them, but like, you know, it's about like in certain situations, but like I don't like them, and like they are hard to find and they're hard to fit, and like it's just they're expensive and they're never comfortable.
And every woman I've ever known has complained about having to wear them. So they're a completely unnecessary piece of clothing that you are not obligated to wear. If they give you gender euphoria for wearing them, then by all means do, but do not wear them because you feel you have to. And I had someone, when I started HRT, when I was working, one of the ladies I worked with was like, you might want to start, it's really starting to get big, you might want to start using the bra. I'm like, you do nothing but complain about how the first thing you want to do when you get home is take off a bra, so why would I wear it? Why would I wear a pair of shoes? Why would I wear something all day? Like, would I buy a pair of shoes that were so uncomfortable that all I could think about the last half of the day was getting home so I could take them off? No, I would never do that. So why would I do that with a bra? But if it's for you, have at it, get that gender euphoria.
You know, I feel the same way. I didn't watch Joe and Baez die face down in the mud so I could wear a fucking bra.
But yeah, I feel like, hey, go out, have fun, do the things you want to do, explore. What we always say, don't feel like you have to lock yourself into something. Explore who you are, explore who you want to be, whether it's your HRT, whether it's fashion, and just go out and have the most fun ever as you become more your perfect self every day.
I want to boomerang around.
Oh, hold on. We're boomeranging.
We're boomeranging because the reason I did that meme diver early in the episode.
You did do an early meme diver. It made me suspicious that there was more. There's a reason
because I have a segment. I have a segment prepared for us.
A segment, you say?
But I wanted the meme diver theme to like kind of ease us into it. And on the theme of poorly cooked meals.
Oh, God.
I have a segment called Culinary Delights.
Just a quick line, that's it. It is a beautiful thing. Look at that.
You're a mom and you've got kids and you're working and you don't have time to make a dinner every night. And we all know that the best chefs in the world come from the Midwest of the United States. And
you sure do.
You know, and so we're going to turn up the Milwaukee a little bit and we're going to bust out that Great Lakes sensibility and we're going to talk about some recipes. Now, we know that you got those kiddos to feed and it's not always easy because you're working and you're cooking and you're cleaning. It seems like they never appreciate nothing you do.
They never do.
But you gotta feed them and you want your happy kids. A happy kids is a happy home. So like you gotta do it. Since we know that best recipes and the best cooks come from the Midwest, we also know that the best recipes come from corporations. So we went into corporate websites.
Oh.
The best recipes come from brands.
Oh my gosh. I hope we get a good hot dish one here.
2 out of 3 are a hot dish, so you know.
Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as Meatloaf said. Meatloaf also a hot dish.
The first place we're going
You're just missing all this stuff.
Is our good friend Betty Crocker. Y'all remember Betty Crocker?
Yeah. Sweet
She's
talker,
been around
Betty
since
Crocker.
forever. She knows how to make. She taught us how to make Jell-O with like peas and celery in it, and then.
Hey, hold on. Do you not eat your Jell-O with peas and celery in it?
It's the only kind. The lime green Jell-O with peas and celery. Sometimes you throw some carrots in there.
Yeah, I call it my.
Maybe a little cream cheese to go
call it
along with it.
My 50
little
Shades
French
of
onion dip.
Can I finish? It's my 50 Shades. It's my. Okay, that's my 50 Shades of Green. It's not even funny anymore. It was a good one in the moment, but now
I fucked that joke up for you so bad. But in a way made it also better. So we're going to start out with the ingredients. All good recipes start out with ingredients. And so this one is the tater tot casserole. And it says here at the top, tater tots casserole meets Bisquick. Tater tots TM casserole meets Bisquick TM. It's not a good recipe unless it's got at least 2 TMs in it.
Gotta have them.
Meets Bisquick TM in this impossibly easy cheeseburger pie. And it's a match made in comfort food heaven. It sure is. I like heaven. I can't wait to get there with my kiddos. Hearty, family friendly, and easy to make. This casserole is freezable and feeds a crowd. Well, that's good because I got my hungry boys that get back from their soccer practice. I swear to God, I think they could eat a horse. Serve with ketchup, mustard, and pickles for extra cheeseburger flavor.
May I take off 1 point for ketchup instead of Heinz ketchup? I mean, that's a trademark right there. And French's mustard.
Yeah, they kind of fucked that up, didn't they? Plastic pickles.
Yeah.
Let's try it again. Serve with Heinz ketchup. Or, I mean, because I almost want to do it. So, what was it? Fancy ketchup? Remember fancy ketchup?
Fancy ketchup.
Milwaukee ketchup is fancy ketchup. Serve with fancy ketchup, French's mustard, and Vlasic pickles for an extra cheeseburger flavor. So the ingredients, there's kind of maybe a lot in this one.
This is a beast of a casserole.
9 ingredients. That's a lot for one of these recipes.
An entire 2 pounds of tater tots.
2 pounds of ground beef, a cup and a half of chopped onions, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, 3 cups of shredded cheddar cheese.
That's a bag and a
Buy
half.
a package of Kraft cheddar cheese, 3/4 cup of original Bisquick TM mix. So pancake batter. 1.5 cups milk. You should always put in milk with your ground beef and your tater tots. 3 eggs. And 1 bag, 32 ounces, 2 pounds.
2 pounds.
Of Ore-Ida TM tater tots, TM frozen potatoes. That's the ingredients. Now, for the instructions. Step 1, heat the oven to 400. Spray a 13 by 9 inch glass baking dish, Pyrex dish. Yeah, we're for a hot dish.
Yeah. Standard.
In a 12-inch nonstick skillet, cook beef and onion over medium-high heat, 8 to 10 minutes, stirring frequently. Notice it doesn't want you to cook them separately. You can throw them right in together. You don't have to cook the onions first. You don't need to
get all the flavor.
do that. No, you don't need to do that. Just throw them in there. In there. Stirring frequently until beef is brown. Drain. Stir in salt and pepper. Spread in the dish. Sprinkle with 2 cups of the cheese. So put the cheese right on the ground beef in a medium bowl. Stir that Bisquick TM mix, milk and eggs with a whisk until blended. Pour into a baking dish. Arrange frozen potatoes on top of the casserole. So that's it. So that's what you do. So you got your ground beef, your cheese, your frozen potatoes, and then you pour pancakes all over the whole thing. Bake 40 to 45 minutes or until potatoes are browned. Sprinkle evenly with remaining 1 cup of cheese and melt that cheese for another 5 minutes, or until cheese is melted and knife inserted in center. Comes out clean, 165 degrees for beef in the center. Let stand 10 minutes before serving. No one ever does that. You don't have to let that stand 10 minutes. You can just dig right in.
Them hungry boys aren't waiting 10 minutes.
I know. To make ahead, if this is too much, for you.
Yeah.
You can make it ahead of time. And if you want to do that, you can cook that beef mixture, spread in a baking dish, and refrigerate uncovered for 30 minutes. So just leave it for 30 minutes for some reason, for half an hour.
But after 30 minutes,
if you want to make it ahead a half an hour earlier than you would normally make it, you can do that.
But at 32 minutes, it's garbage.
Yeah, 32 minutes. No good. You can only do it. You can only make it, if you want to make it ahead of time, like a half an hour ahead of time.
Okay.
That's what you can do. That's all you got. You can't make it the day before or in the morning. Forget that. It'll go bad. And then in the end, this is what you get. Isn't that beautiful?
A lot of Betty Crocker stuff happened before they invented food photography.
Look at that. Doesn't that just look heavenly? You got the mustard there. You got the ketchup there. You got the pickles in the corner. Yeah. Those are optional. Yeah. You don't need them, but you can have them.
You want that cheeseburger flavor.
You want that extra cheeseburger flavor. That's what you get right there.
And what does the Bisquick do? Can I make this
into pancake?
Can I make this without Bisquick?
I don't think you can.
No. If you just put tater tots on top of cooked beef, it won't bind.
You know what the Bisquick does, honey? It makes the shareholders of Betty Crocker just a little more money.
I know we're making fun, but at the end of the day, I'd eat this.
Yeah, of course you would. Everyone would. That's why it's in here.
Yeah, of course I'd eat it.
That's the rub with all of these is you make fun of them, and then you're like, actually, that does sound easy, and I would eat this.
It sounds super easy.
And I kind of want to eat the shit out of this right now.
But here's the thing.
As bad as that picture looks really good, doesn't it?
Here's the thing. For me, this is where the jump off point. So I'm getting rid of the Bisquick. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to season the meat differently. We're going to do everything different. But it's a good jump off point.
Fucking it all up already.
Yeah, no. Without that pancake
You are way too far from Lake Michigan, sweetheart. Did you forget your roots? What are you over there in the Chesapeake Bay or something? What are you thinking? You're going to add crab? You're going to get all fancy and add some seafood to this?
Some crab
I don't think so, hun. The hungry boys aren't going to appreciate that none too much.
If you told people to close your eyes and then you just said, describe a dish to feed, quote unquote, your hungry boys, this is exactly what they would be envisioning.
This is exactly what you want.
Some sort of tater tots and cheese with mustard.
healthy tip, you can make it a half an hour ahead of time.
All right, get this off my screen.
That's how to cook.
That's not how to cook.
Thank you for watching Culinary Delights.
Oh, that was gross. That was gross, and I loved every second of it. I love.
It was so good. I'm
and
so
here's
hungry.
Here's the thing.
I gotta make some dinner for real.
I know. You know, in your opening, you had that lady's video with like the intentionally bad food. I do not like that. I do not like it when there's a video that's like 10 minutes long. It's just intentionally stupid and bad food to get views. What I do like is going back and like looking like if you can get like the Good Housekeeping. They used to have the cards from the 50s that had all those recipes.
I remember those.
Oh
yeah.
my God. I could read those all day. And that entertains me. But just intentionally doing something bad is not as entertaining.
I don't think that woman set out to do a bad job.
No,
she just.
No, she did. That's a thing they do now. They intentionally make bad stuff.
No, but that was super old.
Was that super old?
That was like from the 90s or the 80s. Yeah. That's from the Food Network back in the day.
Super old from the 90s? What? I'm from the 90s.
The 90s were 30 years ago, sweetheart.
Well, I'm only 27. How could that have been 30 years ago?
Yeah, I know. You don't even remember the 90s. You weren't even born.
I don't remember a lot. Babe, this has been a fun episode. I hope everyone who watched had fun. Y'all are beautiful, all 10 of you. Thank you for joining us and watching the podcast.
Everyone's beautiful. We love you all.
But especially the people who are listening because they're hearing my voice. If you're not listening, you don't know if I think you're beautiful or not. So think about that. We hope that you enjoyed that, and we hope to see you next week. Email us if you have any questions or if you have any recipes that your mom made or your dad made or you want to share them with us. Send them our way, beingtranspodcast@gmail.com. I'm Lilith. That's Amanda. We love you so much.
Bye-bye.
Have a great week.